Hello, friends from around the world. My name is G,
And my name is Hector.
and we're here to talk about new releases for collected editions for the upcoming month of December 2022. Hector and we work for Penguin Random House, so the titles we'll talk about are from the publishers that we can sell internationally. So please note that some of the titles that you'll see might have sales restrictions by country. So if you have any questions, definitely reach out to us and we'll be able to answer those questions that you have. Please also note that there are so many changes that are happening with, production issues all across the industry. So you might see titles that we talked about previously also show up in this month's releases that you'll see here. And we'll begin our presentation with our collected edition picks. And then we'll go over some of our highlights, and then we'll you'll see the rest of the list as you go through the video. So we'll get started here with the first pick, which is actually mine. So this is Funny Creek. This is written by Raphael Scavone and Rafael, and then also Albuquerque. Sorry about that. And this one stood out to me. Albuquerque is really big and well known for American Vampire. And then Scavone is very well known for the Hit Girl in Rome. And so these are very powerhouse creators that are coming together to do this particular title. This is actually a Comixology original, and it's collected for the first time in print for you to pick up, should you be interested. I definitely am. This is about a main character who you'll see at the front pointing to herself with the star. It's a main character if they point to themselves. She's actually running away from trauma that she's experiencing at home, and as an escape, the main character, Lily here, magically falls inside her favorite cartoon show, as you'll see here on the front. I like how the background is.
Yeah, the Looney
Because
Tunes
it's very Looney
homage. Yeah.
Tunes. Yeah,
And the title too. Yeah.
exactly. So that's great. Without
Uh-huh.
using Looney Tune characters.
Exactly.
So imagining a very wacky, light-hearted, fun kind of cartoon, and you would think that this is all fun and games, but she realizes that even then she can't really escape the problems. It kind of carries on with her, and you'll follow the journey of this character as you're reading through. So this is a very classic comic kind of scenario, with characters falling into shows and cartoon shows, that type of thing. But I would like to see it. This is kind of reimagined in a way where you have a kind of a very serious subject,
Hmm.
with this girl dealing with issues of her own that it could be relatable for sure, despite your age. So this is one of my picks for this December month.
And next up is one of my picks is Aranya, Night of the Hunter. This is a trade collected edition. Um, and for those of you who don't know Aranya, this is obviously one of the Spider-Verse characters, and we have so many, and there's new ones coming out every year. This is one of those. I think it's one of the most underrated ones. I love Aranya because this character has a very different story. First of all, it's not one of those that is somebody else got bitten by the same spider that Peter Parker was bitten, but in a different universe. She is in a different universe, but her story is very different. Her father, her name is Anya, and that's Anya Aranya. Uh, her father was an investigative reporter, and he is investigating. And after the death of her mom, she was living in Mexico with her mom. After the death of her mom, she moves to the U.S. to live with her father. And one night, she's walking to school, I think, to the university or something, and she sees a man getting attacked by what is called the Sisterhood of the Wasp, and it's this basically this sort of mafia or gang, and they all have some of them have wasp powers, and she jumps in and helps the man, and the man uh, happens to be a sorcerer that is with the Spider Society, which is the other side that is fighting the Sisterhood of Wasp. And in return for her help, he gives her spider powers. So that's how she gets the spider powers. But her story is all about this struggle between the Sisterhood of the Wasp and the Spider Society. Some of that is collected in here, and also some of the stories of the Craven family trying to kill all the spiders and then going after her to try to revive Craven the Hunter, because that was another storyline. So it's a character. She is very big. She's very big in the new Spider-Verse, Edge of the Spider-Verse storyline that just happened on the Marvel comics, and it's going to be collected very soon. And also that continues in Spider-Man, the series that it's now being coming out. Also, not Amazing Spider-Man, but Spider-Man. And it's one of the characters that I hope, it hasn't been announced or anything, I don't know, but I hope she makes it into the Spider-Verse movies, because she's a great character too. And just like Peter Parker or Miles and all the others, because Spider characters, she has to deal with a lot of real life issues, and there's a lot of drama in her life, which I really love too. But I love that also, that fight between the two different factions of the Sisterhood of the Wasp versus the Spider Society. So I highly recommend picking this up.
Next up, I probably don't even need to say much about this because I'm sure everyone knows about this title because it's so popular. But I'm very excited for the hardcover that's coming out for Catwoman Lonely City. This is written and illustrated by Cliff Chang. And this one, we have Selena, who is 55 years old, coming out of prison, and I think like a decade, like 10 years about prior to her being released, there was like this big catastrophic event known as Fool's Night. It's a massacre that killed a bunch of heroes. So you have like Batman, Nightwing, and Commissioner Gordon, who died along with the Joker. Not spoilers.
No, this is they say this at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, at the beginning of the first issue.
That's like, the setup. That's the setup.
It's the setup.
Yeah.
I'm like shouting, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
And then Selena realizes that Gotham City is very different from when she prior to prison to post prison. And at this point, the mayor is Two-Face, Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
And there's no such thing as masked heroes or even villains anymore. It's pretty much outlawed. And with the mayor cleaning up crime and having like a watchful eye over the activities of the city. But there's like with that comes lack of freedom, which doesn't bode well for someone like Selena. And the whole premise here is that Selena wants to figure out who is Orpheus and the mystery behind that. And the only way that she'll be able to figure it out is if she breaks into the Bat Cave, which is highly guarded and obviously. So she needs to team up. And I love the team up because like when I saw, I don't know if I could say this, but I won't say it.
There are some of a rogue gallery of Batman that get involved, but they're older versions of them.
older
which is great,
version with
which
a
is
spear
awesome.
belly. I
Yeah,
love.
it's
That's
awesome.
all I will say.
Yeah, it is so awesome.
It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
And I've been waiting for a hardcover edition because, like, I just would like to have that in that format that
yeah,
Black Label does. So,
yeah. And
mhm,
I mean, I've been collecting this one, and the fourth volume, final volume, finally came out this week, and
mhm.
we've been waiting for it. But even though I have them individually, I need to get this one too because it's such a beautiful story. It's such the art. Cliff Chiang did all by himself, and it's amazing. The story is amazing. The art is amazing, and it's something worth collecting. And it's something that I hope at some point somebody does an adaptation and they get Cliff Chiang involved. An animated adaptation, I think they should
That
do,
would be great.
and it'd be so awesome.
Can
They
you
probably should get the
imagine?
people who
Yeah, I would
doing
love that.
maybe the
Mhm.
people who are doing Harley Quinn
Oh yeah.
to do it because there's a lot of humor in it and it's funny. It's like it's not like Harley Quinn humor, which is completely out there, but there's humor in it and there's heart in it. There's a lot about, getting older and how Selena, she's still, Catwoman, and she could do a lot of the things that Catwoman can do, but she has to watch her knees doesn't can't take as much, her legs, and she can't jump as high, but it's still a lot more than most people. So there's a lot about that in
There's
the
like
yeah.
a amazing training montage
Oh
that
yeah.
you'll see.
Yes, yes. It is like it's a little bit of like a superhero team up or like maybe a villain team up but a superhero, but it's also there's an Ocean 11 sort of vibe to it too because they're planning this heist to get into
Mhm.
and there's steps before that you can't just go straight. They need all this other stuff, so it's very, very cool story.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's a
definitely
lot of
highly
fun.
recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I turned your pick into my pick too, but
No,
I
I mean
love
we were
this
both
book.
excited for
Yes.
it. So, uh,
Yeah.
yeah. And then that's yeah. Next up is yours.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
We're not
I
done.
still have one more. So next up is Manor Black, Volume 2, Fire in the Blood, written by Cullen Bunn, Brian Hurt, and illustrated also by Brian Hurt and Tyler Crook. This, and you might know some of the creators from working on Harrow County also. This is a very cool story, and volume one is available now. I highly recommend this story. It is one of those that has been kind of went under the radar. This is from Dark Horse when it was out in single issues, but it was very well reviewed. It was always on the list of best reviewed stories. So I'm glad it's now being collected. The story is very basic. There's this man, this sorcerer, who Roman Black, who's very powerful and very ancient, and he has this obviously this mansion that's Manor Black, and he is sort of on his way out, because it's old, and he's trying to figure out who's going to inherit his powers and his fortune, and his children. He doesn't like his children. They're all really bad, and they're all fighting each other and trying to like cheat each other of their inheritance, and so he wants somebody good to inherit everything that he created and his powers. So he picks up this stranger from the street, and he sees that she to help her, but also sees that she's really good. So he takes her under his wing as his mage and starts giving him his power, some of his power. So obviously the children go crazy, and there's a lot of plotting against the father and this new mage coming, the stranger who might end up taking away their inheritance. So that's volume one, and a little bit of spoilers because that's volume two. She does it's able to get to handle the power and take over sort of the legacy from Roman Black in Volume 2, but now is where, the big fight between her and the children of Roman Black. It is very cool. The art in this is amazing. It's very beautiful, and it's such a great story. Like I said, I highly, highly recommend this one.
Right, and then next up, we're actually going to run through some highlights that we would like to talk about. So I'll get started on that.
Yeah.
We have The Art of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, written by Stuart Bam from Dark Horse. We have, and you'll see the publishers down below as well. The next one up is Batman Catwoman by Tom King. And Black Panther, we have the Christopher Priest. This is the Omnibus Volume 1, but then we have the direct market cover, as you'll see right next to it.
And next, continuing in these highlights, we have Books of Magic Omnibus Volume 3, the Sandman Universe Classics, part of the Sandman. These are the stories. It's from the Sandman Universe Classics by Dylan Harrocks. Then we have Canto, Tales of the Unnamed World by David Boer and Drew Sucker and Sebastian Paris. Sorry. And we continue with Critical Role, The Mighty Nine Origins, Fjord Stone, written by Kevin Burke and Chris Duck Wyatt, and collaborations from Matthew Mercer and Travis Willingham. And then one of our favorites,
Yes.
definitely my favorite, Gwenpool Omnibus. I think this has been pushed back a couple of times, so I'm excited for this to finally come out. By Christopher Hastings, and we have, a regular retail cover, and I actually have that single issue with that cover. And then also on the right, you see a direct market only cover.
Mhm. Next up, we have King in Black Omnibus by Donny Cates, the main cover and also the DM cover. And then finally, because I loved Volume 1, the hardcover was beautiful, by the way, if you take off the dust jacket.
Yeah.
Excellent. This is Nightwing Volume 2, Get Grayson by Tom Taylor. This is, I mentioned, this is Volume 2. And then we have Nubia, Queen of the Amazons by Stephanie Williams.
And we continue with Predator, the original years Omnibus Volume 1 by Mark Verhenden. We have a regular cover and we have a direct market cover. In the middle there, you see Star Trek Discovery Adventures in the 32nd century. Now, because this is from the TV show, there are some rights restrictions. So if you have any issues ordering this, please reach out to us just to confirm. And this is by Mike Johnson and Angel Hernandez, or Angel Hernandez. And on the right, we have Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters Omnibus, just in time for first part, sort of series. This is by Charles Soule, and we have a regular, main cover, and then we have a direct market cover also.
Yeah. And then following up, we have Usagi Yojimbo Origins. This is a Volume 4, Lone Goat and Kid by, of course, Stan Sakai. And then we have the highly anticipated Ven Omnibus by Donny Cates and Steckman. We have the main cover as well as the DM cover here. Now, that closes out our highlights, but we'll run through the rest of the list, or like you'll see it on the screen. So definitely like stay tuned so you could see what else is coming up for December. But for us, we're gonna exit here. So please continue watching that. We have a lot of fun doing these. We always do this for every month, so definitely check out our YouTube channel where you'll be able to see that, and we're on social medias. I'll link below as well. So yeah, with that, bye everyone.
Thank you.